Why does my wife not want intimacy? A Stoic perspective on the issue. Many men ask themselves, my wife doesn't want me. There's no attraction, no desire. What should I do? If we exclude infidelity and health problems, then there are other reasons. Often these reasons lie in perception, in the mind and psychology of the woman. But it's important to remember, you can't control her emotions, but you can manage your reaction. Stoicism teaches us to accept what is out of our control and focus on what we can change. In this case, we're talking about your attitude, not her desires. How should you respond if your wife no longer feels attracted to you? Let's break down the potential causes and explore how to approach it philosophically. You don't meet her expectations. But does that matter? Very often, a woman is dissatisfied in the relationship because she didn't get what she expected. You may not meet her fantasies of what a man should be: successful, strong, with certain physical and moral qualities. But is it worth living to meet someone else's expectations? Stoicism teaches us to be true to ourselves and not depend on external factors. Yes, you can strive to be better, but do it for yourself, not to prove anything to someone else. Stoicism emphasizes an important principle. Don't worry about what's beyond your control. Other people's expectations are not something we have power over. You can change yourself, but do it for your own growth, not to satisfy someone else. Accept her expectations as a given, but don't sacrifice yourself to meet them. In the end, your value as a man doesn't depend on whether you meet someone else's standards. Trust and honesty. Do you accept her true self? Stoicism urges us to accept reality as it is. This applies to relationships as well. Often, a man doesn't fully accept the woman for who she is. He may undervalue her desires, hobbies, or behavior. Although she might not express her discontent openly, subconsciously, it erodes trust. The woman stops feeling safe, and her attraction fades. Remember, no matter how a woman behaves, her feelings are her choice. You can't control them, but you can control your reactions. If you want to restore intimacy, learn to accept her without judgment. Accept her for who she is, with all her flaws and quirks. It's essential to remember that Stoicism teaches us not to fight what we cannot change, but to find peace in acceptance. Resentment. Your enemy and her enemy. Accumulated resentment can destroy relationships, but it's important to remember that you can't control other people's emotions. Stoicism teaches us responsibility for our own reactions. If your wife feels resentment, it's not always your fault. But you can fundamentally change your attitude toward those emotions and stop reacting to them negatively. Learn to be open to dialogue. The woman might resent you for many reasons: unspoken expectations, unmet desires, and more. However, remember that resentment is a personal perception, and you are not obligated to internalize it. You can change how you perceive the situation, remain calm, and avoid letting emotions destroy your inner harmony. False passion and the illusion of intimacy. Many men start relationships thinking they know what a woman wants. They may interpret her reactions as positive, but often it's all just a game. Stoicism teaches us that illusions can mislead us. If the woman hasn't been genuine in her desires, her libido gradually fades. Stoics urge us to value authenticity and honesty, not false expectations or fantasies. In relationships, it's not only about attention and effort, but also about sincerity. If the woman hasn't been honest about her needs, your task is to approach the situation with philosophical resilience, not with resentment or anger. Understand that true intimacy is only possible through openness and honesty. You can try to initiate a conversation, but the key is not to expect an immediate resolution. What should you do? Stop focusing on her expectations. Become the best version of yourself, not for her, but for your own personal growth. Remember, you have the right to be yourself, and other people's expectations should not dictate your life. Restore trust. Honest communication and accepting her as she is are more important than constantly striving to meet her ideals. Don't try to change her. Try to understand and accept her. Address her resentments. Understand that her feelings are her choice. You can understand them, but don't let them define your actions. Let go of these emotions and move forward. Evaluate the real relationship. If her desires don't match reality, it's a signal for change. Understand that your power lies in how you perceive the situation, not in trying to manipulate the outcome. Stoicism teaches us to manage our emotions and not to depend on external circumstances. If your wife has emotionally distanced herself, it's not your fault. Accept it and focus on improving your own life. Ultimately, only you decide how you'll respond to the situation and how you'll move forward with your life. Accept your role in the relationship, but don't burden yourself with others' emotions. You have the right to live in harmony with yourself and build your life without constantly looking to meet others' expectations.